rejected the seat on his behalf. He had to agree because under our laws, if he didn't agree and he accepted the seat, the Workers' Party would have expelled him from the party. He would have been disqualified. The following election, 1988, the best loser was again Workers' Party. This time, Dr. Lee Hsien Loong took the seat and occupied it. In 1991, the best loser was again the Workers' Party. This time, Mr. J.B. Jeyaretnam took the seat, despite having been the person who, in 1984, was leader of the party and having insisted in 1984 that he would never accept a non-constituency seat. Then in 2001, we had Mr. Steve Chia of the Singapore Democratic Alliance, and most recently in 2006, we had Ms. Sylvia Lim of the Workers' Party. The NCMPs, I think we can say fairly, have made their contribution to the national debate. They've expressed opposition views in Parliament. They've let Singaporeans compare the policies and programs of the government and the opposition. And they've enabled Singaporeans to evaluate the performance of parties and MPs through the continuing debates in Parliament, day in, day out, during the whole term of the government, and not just during the short period of the campaign during the general election. So this NCMP scheme has achieved its purpose and been accepted by the public. However, given that there are 84 elected MPs in the House, instead of a minimum of just 3 opposition MPs, we should increase this to a minimum of 9 opposition MPs, including NCMPs, which would make the minimum number of opposition MPs equal to the number of NMPs in the House, which is also 9. We will amend the Constitution to change the current maximum number of NCMPs that Parliament can legislate from 6 to 9. We will also amend the Parliamentary Elections Act to increase the minimum number of opposition MPs plus NCMPs in Parliament to 9. So the actual number of NCMPs will then be 9 minus the number of opposition MPs who are elected directly to Parliament. So since the number is 9, there will be no need for President to specify any number before nomination day. Therefore, whatever the election outcome, opposition members directly elected or non-constituency members will form at least 1/10 of the directly elected members of Parliament who have constituencies. Right now, 84 of them. We also propose one more change to the NCMP scheme, and that is to amend the Parliamentary Elections Act to set a cap of 2 NCMPs to come from any one GRC. This will spread out the NCMPs more evenly and make them more representative of those voters who have voted for the opposition nationwide in a general election. It will also clearly distinguish between the winning and the losing teams in a GRC, because we should not have an outcome where the entire losing team enters Parliament as NCMPs and enjoys almost equal status with the winning team. For example, if we had done this before the last general election, the outcome would have been like this. There were 2 opposition MPs elected, Mr. Chiam and Mr. Low Tia Kiang. Then we would go down in order of decreasing percentage of votes. Aljunied GRC, Workers' Party, NCM would have had 2 NCMPs, Ms. Sylvia Lim presumably plus 1. Choa Chu Kang is a single, Mr. Steve Chia. Then East Coast GRC, Workers' Party with 2 NCMPs, up to the team to decide or the party to decide. Joo Chiat, single, Workers' Party candidate, Dr. Tan Bin Seng. And Nee Soon Central, single, Workers' Party candidate, Mr. Lian Chin Wei. So 2 opposition, 7 NCMPs. Next, we will improve the nominated MP scheme. The scheme started in 1990. Initially, the Constitution provided for up to 6 NMPs, and we in fact appointed 2 in the first batch. And in 1997, we amended the Constitution to provide for up to 9 NMPs, which is where it is today. The scheme has worked well. The NMPs represent non-partisan alternative views in Parliament, and the NMPs have made effective contributions and raised the quality of debate in Parliament. And sometimes, if I may say so, they may have outshone even the opposition MPs. This NMP scheme should be a permanent part of our political system. Presently, each time Parliament meets after an election, Parliament is required to pass a motion resolving that there shall be NMPs for that term of Parliament. This was a safeguard which was introduced when the scheme was new because we couldn't be certain how the scheme would work. But after 20 years, this is no longer an issue. As Dr. Lee Hsien Loong pointed out yesterday. And therefore, as he suggested, we will do away with the motion on the NMP scheme in each Parliament so that we will always automatically have NMPs in Parliament. This will also require an amendment to the Constitution. We also propose to fine-tune the scheme to broaden the representation of various interest groups. NMPs are chosen by a special select committee of Parliament. The committee invites nominations from the public in general, but also formally invites nominations from 6 groups: business and industry, the professions, the labour movement, social and community organizations, media, arts and sports, and tertiary education institutions. I think that the committee should broaden its reach to invite nominations from one additional group, which we have paid a lot of attention to and would like to cultivate, and that is the people sector. It could be those in the environmental movement, it could be young activists, it could be new citizens, it could be the community and grassroots leaders. This will give civil society a voice in Parliament and encourage civil society to grow and to mature further.